Cops, who is the dumbest criminal you've ever come across? My dad is a cop and I was on a ride-along with him quite a few years ago. After eating our lunch, we went down to a runoff point so he could finish some of his reports. That's usually why you see a lot of cops on the side somewhere that isn't directly connected to the main road. I was on my phone watching some videos, when he got called in to check something that was happening up the road. I was sitting in the car the entire time this happened. We headed up the road to a construction site. By that time it had been active but non-progressing for 5 years, where a bunch of people were just standing around looking weird, dressed in weird suits and obvious fake construction costumes with fake hard hats. A representative of the construction company had called the police down when these people showed up and didn't say a single thing for hours. Backup arrived and about 6 cops were trying to get 24 people to say something. After a half hour passed, every single one of the trespassers began to dance and music began to blare from portable speakers. It went on until the song ended, at which point one of the dancers stood up and said, "Danielle, Kyle has an important question for you." Everyone was motionless until the person who stood up started looking around and asked if either of those people were there. It took another 5 minutes before a threat of arresting everyone came to head and got the speaker to finally begin talking about what was going on. Turns out someone had hired a flash mob crew. They were a bigger thing back then, for a marriage proposal, but no one showed up. After all of that was done, my dad found out that the person who hired the flash mob did so to rob a jewelry store up the road and assumed that the flash mob would draw all the police to the site, not having enough intelligence to realize a flash mob trespassing on a mostly empty machine-free yard wouldn't rank higher than an armed robbery of a jewelry store. The guy was clever in a yes, no kind of way. The idea was logical but the execution and targets were absolute dogshit. He bragged about it, and was stupid enough to think that saying you can't prove the flash mob was me, when literally no one asked him about the flash mob. He was smart but also extremely dumb. His name was actually Kyle, his wife is actually named Danielle, and he paid the flash mob crew with his own money. Dumb. I would pay to have a video of his lawyer's face. I doubt it was a fun day for them.